Join us at the Center for the Arts for its 30th anniversary season. With award-winning stars, compelling stories told on stage, and thrilling sights and sounds, it's sure to be a season of arts experiences to remember.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 30th anniversary season preview of the Center for the Arts at George Mason University. It's so wonderful to be here with all of you tonight. My name is Rick Davis, and I'm the Dean of the College of Visual and Performing Arts here at George Mason. And I am a white male with not a whole lot of hair. I'm wearing some round glasses, a blue shirt, and a blue tie. And I am coming to you live from the stage of the Center for the Arts. And I tell you, it is a thrill to be back on a stage, albeit in an empty theater, with members of our wonderful Center for the Arts crew around who've helped set this up, of course, wearing masks, keeping their distance, all very, very safe in this time of COVID. We're taking the safety precautions very seriously, and you'll hear more about that later in the broadcast. But what we're really here to do tonight is to celebrate our 30th anniversary with a return to performance. And what an exciting moment that is for all of us here. You've heard the term pent up demand in economics, right? Well, we have had pent up energy for bringing art back to our stages and to our screens, and it is just great to be here. The 30th anniversary of the Center for the Arts also has a tremendous amount of meaning to George Mason University. During the time that the Center for the Arts has been open, we have grown tremendously as a university, much more than doubled in size. The arts programs have quintupled in size. The College of Visual and Performing Arts has become a major national arts college, and all of that is part of this great effort that we are celebrating. This event tonight was, in its traditional face-to-face format, was a Friends of the Center only event. But of course, we are in a new world today in this post-pandemic, or this pandemic world. Post-pandemic is a hopeful thought for a little bit later on. But we're in a new world where accessibility to artistic programming is changing, and online and digital content is becoming available from and to the whole world. So we welcome the whole world tonight, and we thank our friends for being with us tonight. It's another thing that's important to talk about tonight, and that is, not only have we responded as a college, as a center, and as a university, and as a country to this ferocious pandemic, this virus that has upended our world in so many ways, but ever since the late spring and early summer, with a series of tragic incidents that have happened in our world of racial justice, we have taken on a mission of anti-racist thought and programming and activity as a university, as a college, and as a Center for the Arts, and as artists ourselves. And we take that very seriously, and our commitment to doing that work and enlisting you in helping us do that work is truly profound. And you'll hear a little bit more about that later as well. I want to say one more thing about this center before we launch into the actual program. And that is, many of you have heard me talk about the 4-word elevator speech that really is our mission statement here at the Center for the Arts. And those 4 words are: the arts create community. And it is never been more important than it is right now to hold fast to that mission, because community, the very idea of community, is being challenged on many levels. The two issues that I talked about just a second ago, and many others. We need to stay in that business of creating community. Our media might be different for a while. Our programming will be different, but our mission is the same. It is the arts create community. And here's just a fun fact about this center that probably not a whole lot of people know. Since we opened in 1990, we have served well over 6 million visitors to this building. This building, this place, these programs have already made a tremendous difference in the lives of our people here in Fairfax City, Fairfax County, George Mason University, and in fact, the entire region. So thank you for being part of that fantastic group, and we look forward to keeping that energy going, even under the challenges of this new world. One of the things that makes it possible for us to do that work is, of course, the sponsorship of great people and great organizations. And I'd like to take a special moment here to thank the Mather, the Mid-Atlantic Arts Foundation, and the Seeley Foundation for their steadfast and generous support of programming here at the Center for the Arts. And of course, I want to thank our friends of the Center. And there's no friendlier friend of the Center for the Arts than Cody Clark, who's a member of our wonderful development staff and works with the Friends on a regular basis. Cody, take it away.
Thank you for that introduction, Rick. Hello, my name is Cody Clark, Development Coordinator for the College of Visual and Performing Arts at George Mason University and the liaison to the Friends of the Center for the Arts. I am a white male with blonde hair in a very dapper suit, if I do say so myself, sitting in front of 2 bookshelves. I wanted to take a moment to thank the Friends of the Center for the Arts for their generous support year after year. Because of you, the Center for the Arts is able to continue to offer diverse and exciting programming, including virtual offerings and the upcoming season, which is about to be announced. Our 30th season may be happening in a slightly different way than we envisioned, but we still rely on your generosity. Ticket costs cover only a small portion of the funds necessary to run our venue. Through your support, the Center for the Arts is able to offer access to the arts for George Mason students through our free student ticket program. Many of these students are first-generation college students, and the Center for the Arts is an opportunity for them, unlike any other. Also, because of your generosity, the Center for the Arts is able to bring professional artists into our community, working with elementary schools, retirement facilities, and more through our Artists in Residence program. And, of course, your gift ensures that our programming remains vibrant each year, bringing some of the best talent from around the world to our stages. For those of you who have not yet renewed your membership to the Friends of the Center for the Arts, we ask that you consider renewing your gift tonight. For those of you who are new to our organization, membership begins at $100 and extends to your entire household. That means for less than $10 a month, you can know that your family is making a difference in the arts in our community. After all, like Rick said, the arts create community. It's true. The vibrant programming offered by the Center for the Arts has created a strong and supportive community of art lovers, like you. We are also excited to announce additional virtual membership benefits, including donor-exclusive events, private concerts, and more, open to only friends. For more information or to make your gift, please visit our website, fcfa.gmu.edu. That's fcfa.gmu.edu. Thank you. We could not do this without your support. And without further ado, I am pleased to pass the mic to the brilliant Adrienne Bryant-Godwin.
Thank you, Cody, and hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for this very unique season preview. First, I'd like to introduce myself for accessibility purposes. I am a white woman with red hair and a green shirt and a black cardigan, and I'm speaking to you tonight from my home office. Behind me are bookshelves and desks, and my pronouns are she, her, hers. Now, as Rick mentioned, we are so honored to be able to celebrate 30 years in this wonderful community where we've served as an artistic and educational resource and as a gathering place for artists and patrons and students. And over these past few months, we've really been thinking a lot about the importance of gatherings and what it means to come together to experience the arts together. Without the ability to safely gather in our theaters, we've had to completely reimagine how we serve our mission and how we serve you, our community. And so tonight, I am thrilled to share with you our reimagined plans for the 2020-2021 season. We obviously live in a very different world than we did 5 months ago when we were originally going to announce our season. But I hope that we've come up with some creative solutions that meet the needs and interests of all of our patrons. And I believe at the core, our season continues to reflect the commitment that we make to our community to make the arts an intrinsic part in the lives of Northern Virginia residents. So now, let me tell you a little bit about what we've been working on these past few months. So I remember when I first started at Mason 2 years ago now, and every time I walked past the pond in front of the Center for the Arts, I thought to myself, wow, this would make such a great place for outdoor concerts. So we're seizing on this opportunity to try this out. And come October, we look forward to welcoming you to 2 performances in our newest venue, the Mason Pond Lawn. Now, we've been working really hard to create a safe environment where we can all gather together, physically distance and with masks on, and enjoy some incredible performances in the open air. So take a look at our new venue.
Hi, I'm Kirsten, a team member here at the Center for the Arts. We have missed you so much over these last several months, but we're really excited to welcome you to our brand new performance space, Mason Pond Lawn. This lawn will be transformed into a safe outdoor performance area for you and your family and friends. We will have physically distanced designated areas for you to sit, and the performance space will be right behind us along Mason Pond Drive. We're working very close with George Mason University to ensure that this is a satisfying and safe experience for all. Please wear your masks and make sure to stay up to date on all of the best information on our website at cfa.gmu.edu, and we can't wait to see you soon at Mason Pond Lawn.
My colleague Betsy is going to go over ticketing procedures for these events a bit later in tonight's broadcast. But please note that tickets for the Mason Pond Lawn performances are available starting tonight for Friends of the Center for the Arts only. On Saturday, they'll go on sale for our subscribers, and on Sunday for the general public. Now, tickets are only $30 for adults and $15 for youth under the age of 18. And with a limited capacity of only 200 people, we do expect these tickets to go pretty fast. So if you're interested in attending the concerts and you're not currently a friend, please do consider joining tonight. And I know that my colleagues that are managing our social media channels are posting links that will take you to more information on doing just that, and also what to expect at our outdoor performances. So this will be a new model for all of us. Now, for those of you who are more comfortable enjoying their artistic experiences in the comfort of your own home, we're happy to be continuing Mason Arts at Home this fall. Now, this was the digital platform that we started in April of this year, which will host performances and other exclusive content geared specifically for our audiences. Our digital programming will kick off on September 13th with the Dewberry School of Music's Grand Piano Celebration, which will feature performances by incredible student and faculty artists, and will also include a tribute to celebrate the renaming of the school in honor of the Reva and Sid Dewberry family. Now, take a closer look at the rest of the programming that we have lined up for the fall. So I want to elaborate a little bit on one of the performers that was mentioned in the video and tell you about an exciting initiative that we're embarking on. In an effort to get out into the region and reach patrons who might otherwise be unable to attend performances, the Center for the Arts is partnering with Cameron Carpenter, a world-renowned organist, to bring pop-up performances to the residents of Fairfax County. Carpenter is a virtuosic musician who has risen to the top of his field, playing with many of the major orchestras across the world. But when the pandemic hit, he decided to change his touring model altogether and has turned a flatbed truck into his stage, which features the International Touring Organ, a digital organ which he had built. It was custom made. It took 10 years and almost $2 million to build. So now he uses this mobile performance unit as a way to bring inspiring and uplifting music to people who need it most right now. So in addition to his performance on our campus on October 24th, Cameron will be performing free performances for a variety of retirement communities across the county. So keep a lookout for a traveling organ as you're driving around in Fairfax County on October 24th. I also wanted to mention a new speaker series that I'm really excited about, which is still coming together. It's entitled The Artist Activist, Centering Black Voices. Now, this series will feature nationally renowned artists speaking about the intersections between the creative sector and social justice movements, using their artistic practice as a jumping off point. A group of my incredibly smart and thoughtful colleagues here at Mason, or some of our faculty members, are curating this series, which will be free and open to the public and streamed on Mason Arts at Home. And we'll be sharing those details with you in the weeks to come. So you might have seen in that video that we have reimagined our signature season opener, Arts by George, this year. And so I'd like to invite our Associate Director of Development, Ryan Brayton, to tell you a bit more about what to expect in this new format.
Hi there. Good evening. My name is Ryan Brayton. I am the Associate Director of Development in the College of Visual and Performing Arts. I am a white male who is bald. My pronouns are he, him, and his. I have a blue and green shirt on with a blue tie, and behind me is my kitchen. So every September, Mason presents the very popular Arts by George event to raise funds for student scholarships and community arts programs in the College of Visual and Performing Arts. And for those of you who have attended, the tagline is an evening like no other, and you know that it always lives up to its tagline, with student showcases in our studios and rehearsal halls, followed by an unforgettable performance by a headliner in the concert hall. So this year would have been the 15th annual Arts by George, and we're going to postpone that to next September 2021. But this year we're going to try something a little different and present a virtual event titled A Celebration of Arts by George. That's going to be on Saturday, September the 26th at 7 p.m. and it will be on GMU TV and social media. It's going to take a look back at the tremendous success of Arts by George during its first 14 years. Arts by George began in 2006, and it has raised more than $1.7 million in student scholarships and support for community arts programs. So a celebration of Arts by George is going to feature a retrospective of past Arts by George videos, photos, and tributes by the many community members who have attended over the years. We are going to revisit alumni who are based around the world, who have performed in the event over the years, who have also received scholarships. We're going to have a special alumni performance. You'll have an opportunity to meet Mason student artists who are thriving despite having to learn their art in this remote environment. And then you're going to have an opportunity to support the Student Scholarship Fund and community arts programs at Mason. And we are going to reveal the headliner for the Arts by George 2021 event. And trust me, we have someone great in store for you. You won't want to miss this. So again, check out the Center for the Arts website for details on how to view this event. That address is cfa.gmu.edu. Again, a celebration of Arts by George is going to be on Saturday, September the 26th at 7 p.m. and we hope you will join us. I'm going to turn it back over now to my colleague, Adrienne Bryant Godwin.
Thank you so much, Ryan. And yes, we have been waiting very patiently to share this headliner with you all. So please do tune in for what's going to be a really incredible evening of performances. Now, as we look to the spring, we are, of course, eyeing the progress of the COVID-19 pandemic very closely. And with that said, we are hopeful that the artists you're about to see will be able to join us in our beautiful venues. Here's a look at the incredible artists we hope to present in person and inside in spring 2021.
Welcome to the Center for the Arts' 30th anniversary season. Whether you love the richly textured harmonies of the symphony orchestra or the rhythms of global music, the beauty of classical ballet or cutting-edge contemporary dance, family entertainment, avant-garde theater, or bold interpretations of favorites, great performances at Mason will delight you this season. At the center of the great performances at Mason season is a rich and diverse collection of concerts featuring some of the finest virtuosos in the classical music world, innovative performances that fuse musical styles, and inspiring performances of beloved jazz and American classics. Delight in an enchanting concert of Baroque and early music favorites by the esteemed French-Canadian chamber orchestra Les Violons du Roi and MacArthur Genius Fellowship winner, pianist Jeremy Denk. Under the direction of Jonathan Cohen, the orchestra has earned widespread critical acclaim for its exquisitely authentic performances of early music on modern instruments. Sharing a heartfelt message of love, peace, and harmony, Ladysmith Black Mambazo performs an uplifting concert showcasing traditional South African vocal styles. This 5-time Grammy Award-winning ensemble has collaborated with musical legends such as Stevie Wonder and Dolly Parton and was featured on Paul Simon's Graceland album. Now they bring their richly harmonious vocals to the Center for the Arts. We are homeless. Welcome Irish music icons Dervish to the Center for a rousing celebration of Irish heritage just in time for St. Patrick's Day. Hailing from the Emerald Isle's rugged and wild coast, this sextet has become one of the biggest names in traditional Celtic music. Grammy Award-winning composer and conductor Maria Schneider leads Northern Virginia's own Metropolitan Jazz Orchestra in a night of cool, expressive jazz. The evening's repertoire includes several pieces composed by Schneider, including instrumental excerpts from Winter Morning Walks, a set of song cycles. Witness the 2019 NEA Jazz Master in this highly anticipated event. Leela Downs, one of the most influential artists in Latin America, makes her Center for the Arts debut. Whether it's with a full-throated mariachi song, an achingly tender bolero, or sultry jazz tune, this 6-time Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter draws audiences in with her unmistakable charisma and inspiring storytelling. Grammy Award-winning conductor, violinist, and violist Pinchas Zuckerman and Canadian Juno Award-winning cellist Amanda Forsyth join forces with the Jerusalem Quartet for a trio of radiant Romantic-era works by Bruckner, Dvorak, and Brahms. Highly accomplished and much in demand in their own right, the husband and wife duo of Zuckerman and Forsyth create a sextet with the 4 Israeli artists in a dazzling display of virtuosity. Pianist Jeffrey Siegel returns to the Center with Concerts with Commentary for those who love classical music and those who want to. In his unique keyboard conversations format, Siegel shares the stories behind each piece and gives an insider's look at each composer and their creative process. The Virginia Opera returns to its Northern Virginia home next season with The Marriage of Figaro, filled with the extraordinary singing, beautiful costumes, and magnificent sets that have become a trademark of Virginia opera productions. Irish music legends, the Chieftains, return with their signature blend of traditional and contemporary Celtic music. The 6-time Grammy Award winners are celebrated for reinventing traditional Irish music and popularizing the form on a global scale. Now audiences get a chance to celebrate this musical talent on the Irish Goodbye Tour. This year's dance and theater performances include thrilling works that honor artistic traditions from around the world and give voice to contemporary viewpoints that push boundaries in meaningful ways.
I have been keeping a list of my debts.
5 young refugees set out in search of a new place to call home in Cartography, a timely theatrical work by co-creators Kanisa Shal and Christopher Myers. Inspired by the creators' work with refugees from around the world, this interactive performance charts a new map for its characters. This innovative performance features an onstage virtual storm that rises up in response to the actors' voices, uses cell phones to depict memory making, and features onstage sculpture creation to represent the characters' journeys. Through the lens of Afro-Colombian dance, Sankofa Danzafro's The City of Others explores racism and social disparity in Colombia, a country home to Latin America's second-largest population of people of African descent. This dance style draws from capoeira, contemporary dance, hip-hop, and African forms, and is accompanied by live drumming and singing. Experience the power, grace, and joy that Kodo's athletic percussionists bring to the stage in their much-anticipated encore performance at the center. With an exuberant, heart-pounding rush of energy, the group performs the ancient Japanese art of traditional taiko drumming. Pulsating rhythms echo throughout the theater as the drummers perform powerful, precisely coordinated movements. Spirits wait in the enchanted forest, but don't become so bewitched by their dancing you fall under their spell. It's deadly. The Russian National Ballet returns to the center for an encore performance of the hauntingly romantic Giselle, followed by a matinee performance of the audience favorite Swan Lake. Thrilling dance, jubilant music, gorgeous scenery, and sumptuous costumes will delight audiences of all ages. The newest creation by Cirque Eloise is an immersive, high-flying Art Deco universe entitled Hotel. The stage is transformed into a multi-storied grand hotel of a bygone era, where acrobatics and dance are performed to live music. This impressive work celebrates Cirque Eloise's 25th anniversary as contemporary circus arts pioneers, traveling the world. The Family Series at the Center for the Arts is the perfect way to introduce children to the arts. With affordable ticket prices, these performances are a treat for families to enjoy together. When Grace, a spunky elementary school student, learns that there have been no female presidents of the United States, she decides to take matters into her own hands. This musical stage adaptation is a great introduction to how presidents are elected, while teaching the value of hard work, courage, and independent thought. Witness the impossible with a top illusionist in The Magic of Bill Blagg live. The whole family will rub their eyes in disbelief as Blagg makes objects disappear, teleports across the theater, levitates in midair, and so much more. Collision of Rhythm is the ultimate dynamic duo made up of a tap-dancing percussion virtuoso and a beatboxing juggling comedian. Aaron Williams and Brankar Lee do it all, from drumming, tap dancing, rhythmic juggling, and melody making on multiple instruments. Join us at the Center for the Arts for its 30th anniversary season. With award-winning stars, compelling stories told on stage, and thrilling sights and sounds, it's sure to be a season of arts experiences to remember.
So I do have a couple of programming updates to give you. For our Virginia Opera fans out there, please note that in addition to the performances of The Marriage of Figaro in March, the company will be presenting a wonderful double bill featuring Poulenc's La Voix Humaine, which is a company debut, and also Puccini's Gianni Schicchi, which hasn't been presented by the company in over 30 years. So we're looking forward to welcoming our great partner, the Virginia Opera, back to the concert hall. And also, unfortunately, we have recently learned that the Russian National Ballet will no longer be conducting their tour in the spring, but we do look forward to welcoming them in future seasons back to the concert hall. And my last programming update is about an initiative that's near and dear to my heart, the Mason Artist in Residence program. We launched this program last season and were able to complete 2 out of 3 scheduled residencies before the pandemic hit. First, we had the all-female powerhouse musical ensemble La Dama, who reached over 1,400 Fairfax County residents during their week-long residency. Then we hosted the world-renowned Bill T. Jones, Arnie Zane Company, who premiered a new work featuring 22 members of our community who had unprecedented access to this MacArthur Genius Award winner's creative process. I'm happy to report that despite the restrictions in place, this program will continue, and we look forward to welcoming 4 Mason Artists in Residence in the upcoming season. 3 of these residencies will take place all online because we are just embracing the current conditions, and we still want to provide access for our community to these incredible artists. So here's a bit more information about our Mason Artists in Residence.
We are thrilled to announce the return of the Mason Artist in Residence program. In 2019-2020, we launched this program, which has created opportunities to interact with our audiences both on and off campus through a variety of activities designed to broaden the reach and deepen the impact of our artistic programming. In its second year, guest artists will participate in this unique opportunity. The 2020-2021 artists in residence include Third Coast Percussion, a cutting-edge ensemble continually expanding the extraordinary sonic possibilities of the percussion repertoire. Kanisa Shal, the co-creator of Cartography, an interactive theater project inspired by work with refugees from around the world. And Maria Schneider, composer, conductor, and recipient of a 2019 NEA Jazz Master Award, as well as multiple Grammy Awards in both jazz and classical categories.
We are knee-deep in the planning process for these residencies, and we've actually just recently confirmed the 4th artist who will participate, but didn't make it into the video. Step Africa, DC's internationally recognized and beloved stepping company, will be joining us this fall. And in addition to conducting masterclasses and lecture demonstrations with a variety of different communities, they'll be using space at our sister venue, the Hilton Performing Arts Center, to create a new dance film version of one of their most popular shows, which will air for free on Mason Arts at Home this December. Now, before we go any further, I'd like to acknowledge that the season we're showing you tonight could never have come to fruition without a few key players. I want to reiterate Rick and Cody's gratitude to the donors, sponsors, and funders who have continued to show their support these past few months by believing in our mission and believing in our ability to carry it out despite what we're all facing. I want to thank the artists that we have the honor of presenting this season and their support staff who are facing extreme adversity right now, but who are persevering and just constantly amaze me with their innovative spirit. And finally, I want to thank my just incredible colleagues at the Center for the Arts. They have worked tirelessly over the past 5 months to bring this 30th anniversary season to you. And they faced numerous challenges along the way, and I'm sure we'll have many challenges to come, but it has just been inspiring to see their tireless determination to get back to what we all love best, live performance. And now I'm going to invite my colleague, Betsy Yancey, who is our audience services manager, to talk to you a little bit about ticketing and other protocols for this fall. Betsy. Sorry about that technical difficulty. I'm going to ask my colleague Betsy to unmute herself, and we'll bring her back in.
Sorry about that. I'm Betsy Yancey, and I am the Audience Services Manager at the Center for the Arts. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I'm a white woman with dark brown hair pulled back in a ponytail. I'm wearing a black and white polka dot dress, and behind me is an off-white wall with photographs of places I've traveled to in easier times. I echo the sentiment that we are excited and looking forward to seeing you again, and we're thrilled that we have so many wonderful performances to share with you for the 2020-2021 season. Tickets are on sale now for the Friends of the Center for the Arts for Flip Fabrique and Cameron Carpenter, our Mason Pond Lawn performances. The exclusive priority pre-sale period for the Friends runs until 10 a.m. on Saturday the 29th. At that time, subscribers from the 2019-2020 season will also have the opportunity to purchase pre-sale tickets. At 10 a.m. on Sunday, August 30th, ticket sales are open to the general public online. Our ticket office is open until 9 p.m. tonight to answer your questions and to assist friends in purchasing tickets. You may also purchase tickets online during your on-sale time by following the links on our website, cfa.gmu.edu. You may also call the ticket office at 703-993-2787 during our regular business hours of 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. If you are a friend during the 2019-2020 season, you should have received an email with a code that will enable you to purchase tickets for your pre-sale period. If you were a subscriber last season, you will receive an email on August 29th with your code. If you did not receive an email, please call the ticket office at 703-993-2787 to confirm your status and receive the code. If you received account credit or an exchange certificate for the 2019-2020 season, you may apply the value of your credit toward the purchase of tickets to the outdoor performances. Redemption instructions were emailed to patrons with valid account credit earlier this week. If you need assistance redeeming your account credit, please call the ticket office. As Adrian mentioned, you may bring blankets or folding chairs when you attend the outdoor performances on Mason Pond Lawn. When purchasing tickets, please be sure to select either the blanket section or the chair section. Everyone in your group must have a ticket. Upon arrival, you will be assigned a physically distanced circle based on the size of your group. Circles will hold up to 4 people, and if your group is larger, you will be assigned multiple circles. If you or someone in your party requires accessible seating, please be sure to purchase tickets designated for the accessible area or contact the ticket office for assistance. While these performances are outdoors, the university is mandating that everyone wear a mask that covers their nose and mouth while they are on campus. The university is also asking that everyone who comes to campus take the Mason COVID health check on the day that they will be on campus. The link to the health check will be provided in a performance reminder email sent to ticket holders the week of the performance. It will also be linked on our website. On the day of the performance, the Center for the Arts will be open in order to pick up your tickets if you did not select a digital or print-at-home option, or if you need to use the restrooms. If there is inclement weather, we will announce if the performance is canceled or not by 8 a.m. on the day of the performance. For more information on our outdoor performances, including frequently asked questions, please go to the Plan Your Visit tab on our website at cfa.gmu.edu. I'd like to invite Adrian Rick back to answer any questions that you may have about the outdoor performances or any of the other performances that we hope to share with you this season.
Hello. We're back. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, Betsy. Thank you, Cody. Thank you, Ryan. And thanks to all of our friends who are commenting in the chat. This is your turn. We are open for questions that we can answer about anything you saw tonight, about anything we didn't say, about general philosophy of life and art. We have a wide open field here, so just take a moment and type your questions into the chat, and we have folks monitoring all the different channels that we are on tonight, and we will bring those questions forward when we get them. I just want, before we do that though, I want to echo our excitement at the idea of coming back to performance. You know, Adrian was talking about planning the 30th anniversary season. Well, she and her team and the crew around us really planned at least 4 30th anniversary seasons, because when the pandemic hit, things started to be canceled right then and there, obviously for the spring of this current year, but things started to drop and be rescheduled for the fall, and then for the spring, and then for following seasons. And then we had the opportunity to create Mason Arts at Home, which debuted on April 2nd, and we've put over 80 different programs up online since then, and have been seen by literally hundreds of thousands of viewers all around the world, really. So that's been very, very exciting. And then, of course, there's the ever-shifting nature of the season that we just announced. As Adrian said, it's already changed since we announced it. And who knows, buckle your seatbelts. But it's really, really exciting to be in this place where we can do this work and respond so creatively to these challenges. I have a couple of questions that have now come in. I'm going to say, I'm going to take this one. Are there limits on the number of tickets available for an outdoor performance? That's a Betsy.
So for the outdoor performances, you can buy in groups basically of 4. So if you have more than 4 people, you would need to either make multiple transactions or have multiple orders in your cart. So there are different ways to do that.
Okay, very good. Or you can bring your own can of spray paint and just make your own circle on the. No, sorry, that's not true. That you take. Don't quote me on that. Another good question: do the digital performances require a ticket?
I'm happy to say that many of them do not require tickets. There will be information on our website about how to access these free performances. This fall, we have 2 performances that will be behind what we call a paywall. This will be the Chanticleer performance and the Natalie McMaster performance. And so information will be available soon on how to purchase tickets for those. They are not yet on sale, so stay tuned for that. And there'll be a range of ticket prices for those performances from $15 to $45. And so if $15 is your comfort zone, that's wonderful. If you feel like you can increase that a little bit to $45, that's great too, and we really appreciate that.
Or
correct.
If there are 15
yes,
people
exactly.
watching with you, maybe that's a way to account for that. Yeah, this is an experiment. We've never charged money for this kind of programming before, and when the pandemic hit, in March and April, and live streaming or recorded content began to be available, most of it was free, from anywhere from the Metropolitan Opera to local performing arts groups. And of course, that was an instantaneous and very generous and necessary reaction. But now, because artists actually are professional people who actually do this for a living, we have to figure out a way to pay them. And so the question of how best to do that in the digital world is something that the entire industry is working hard on, and we're happy to be participating in that. Here's a really good question. Will we be able to bring our own food and drinks to the outdoor shows picnic style? Adrian?
Sure. So unfortunately, we are not allowing anyone to bring food or drinks to the outdoor shows. And this is so that it's easier for us all to keep our masks on. We really do want to create an environment where everyone feels safe and everyone feels comfortable. So bottled water will be allowed. But besides that, we do ask that you keep your mask on the entire time that you're there. I will say also that Rick is ready to go to a concert right now. These performances will be about an hour long. So they won't be the traditional, 2-hour concerts that we often have in the concert hall. So there's plenty of time for you to get your food and drink before and after these performances.
Another question has just come in. Will there be pre or post-performance discussions for the outside events? Very interesting question.
That is a really great question. At this time, we do not have pre-performance discussions planned for the outdoor events, but I will say that for many of the digital events, we will have these discussions with artists that you will then see on screen, and that is a benefit for our friends and subscribers.
And some of those opportunities that I've gotten a glimpse of are going to be really, really amazing. Some of the world's finest artists will be up close and personal with our friends and subscribers. It's a really great opportunity. So stay tuned for more information on that. Well, I think we've reached the end of our allotted time, and we have really enjoyed being with you tonight. And I want to send out a big thank you to the crew of the Center for the Arts who made this possible. And that's tonight's thank you, but the thank you really is deeper and longer and more permanent than that, because this group of folks has been working tirelessly since March to make all of this possible. So you all, good work, everybody. And to our friends, to our sponsors, to all of you, we will see you just as soon as we possibly can. Good night, everybody.